In this video, I will show you guys exactly why webinar VIP tickets helped us generate $167,000 in revenue with one webinar, and why they're so crucial for your lead quality and your overall lead intent in your entire funnel, even though you might not liquidate the entire thing at the front end. Okay, I will show you every single thing I know about webinar VIP tickets, so that by the end of this video, you will be able to replicate this exact process for your own webinar funnel, and you will be able to crack these numbers that I'm talking about here. As you can see, over $136,000 in cash collected on an 18K ad spend just for this webinar over here. Another webinar. These numbers became possible through a webinar VIP ticket, because the webinar VIP ticket helped us attract higher quality leads overall by optimizing for the right event. And in just a second, you will understand what I'm talking about. If you don't know me, my name is Simon and everything I talk about here in this channel is scaling your coaching or high ticket business to multiple 6 to 7 figures a month. And webinar VIP tickets / order lumps are a crucial step for something. So basically a ticket, okay, a low ticket that you sell after someone managed to register for your webinar. Okay, so when you think about this is your webinar registration page, all right, and then he registered. Now what will happen after he registers is, okay, he will register, we will process his information, and then he will hit this wonderful upsell page, which is essentially this page over here, okay? Now, first of all, why should you even choose a webinar VIP ticket, a fast track OTO, how I like to call it as well? Like, what's the thought process behind it? Well, it's designed to attract buyers that help us collect money, okay, that we can then reinvest into scaling, and buyers, this is a very, very important and that are more likely to convert on the actual webinar because they are of higher quality and higher intent. So it's designed to also liquidate some ad spend at the front end, condition our pixel for higher quality leads, and basically give us money that we can then cash flow, front end cash flow, that we can then reinvest into the webinar and to scaling. Now, the theory behind this entire thing is that buyers of a low ticket offer will be way more committed to actually buying the high ticket offer that's being pitched on the webinar itself, because they are already committed. They already commit to a low ticket offer, and in general, they come from a campaign that is optimizing for a higher intent event. Okay, now this works, but only, and this is a very, very, very important only, and one of the most crucial things that I want you to understand from this video. This only works if the low ticket offer is actually relevant, if it's priced and positioned the right way. Okay, so we position it as something like fast track. For example, when you go to the airports, you can remember all the fast tracks over there, right? Why do people buy a fast track, which is basically an upsell at the airport? Because they want to accelerate their desired outcome, which is getting to their destination, and be free of the pain of waiting long security checks, standing on the feet for a long time, and potentially missing their flight. So we basically are this group over here with a fast track, right? The fast track is a logical upsell that helps accelerate results, meaning getting to the destination on a safe way. And the workshop fast track is the exact same thing. We just frame it as an accelerator that helps implementing what they will learn after the workshop. Okay. Now the fast track must be workshop related, meaning it should relate to certain parts of the workshop agenda. As you can see, we've got an Amazon workshop, so we've got Amazon wholesale ebook, supplier shortcut, AI product research guide, 2 exclusive coaching call recordings, one-on-one implementation call with our coach. The 3 pillars of the workshop are business model, product, and supplier. And as you can see, literally every single thing: business model, this one here, then supplier here, product here, is mirrored in the deliverables of the VIP ticket offer. We cover every main point of a workshop agenda and position it this way as a logical upsell, because keep in mind, if your VIP ticket offer would talk about completely different topics, it makes no sense for your audience to buy it, because it has nothing to do with the actual workshop. Now, leads will have then after the call, leads will after the workshop, leads will be able to book in a call with our setters. This is something like an implementation or upsell call. We sometimes even allow closers to use it if they have enough capacity, where they will kind of map out their first months, and then our setters or closers will try to upsell them if they didn't buy yet. So it's something like an upsell call. And what's absolutely insane, we just ran a webinar last night for another offer, that these buyers, like the people who came from the VIP ticket, all of them closed. Like all of them closed on the high ticket offer on this call. They didn't buy on the webinar, but they closed afterwards on this call. So very important thing. And then we use value stacks on the sales page, summarize all the different deliverables, and then enter down a one-time price. As you can see over here, we've got a thank you video. We've got our affirmation headline. We've got, as you can see, how you can get the best results in the workshop. Do you see how I don't say anything like, stop, don't leave this page? This is not what you want to do, okay? This won't help convince someone to actually buy. And then we have all of our deliverables worth $97, and then stacked up on there, and then entered down from $538 to $97. We've got some urgency over here. And then here, some stuff to join our WhatsApp group for the workshop to still keep the retention quite high. Well, the thank you VSL that we have on this page follows the due diligence best practices and the firm's or lead's decision. This is very important, okay? Then it positions the fast track as a non-selfish offer that arose because of the gap between learning and implementation. So when we read through the thank you VSL, you will notice massive congrats on registering. This is another one for the remote sales workshop. We do this VIP tickets, this order bumps across nearly all of the clients that we work with, right? Most people see an opportunity like this, and you instead of that, you took action on this workshop. I'm breaking down. So we over here, we basically just affirming their action. Very important to open their minds to new information. And on the workshop, I'm breaking down how the industry works, how to find legitimate companies, and how to perform once you land a role completely for free. This is just setting the frame for the workshop because they registered for a workshop, keep in mind. Now, if you're sitting here thinking that's good to be true, that's actually the right move, relating to their skepticism. So my job between now and the workshop is to give you as much information as possible so you can do your own due diligence, okay? This is what we always want to do in a confirmation videos. Watch your inbox, your socials, and your WhatsApp, and so on. Now, look, I've run enough of these workshops to know this one pattern. People show up, learn a lot, and get excited, and then most of them do nothing because there's a gap between learning and actually implementing it. So I put together something specifically to close it. And you can see how simple and how logical this is, how we explain it. Look, there's a problem. People show up to workshops. They just consume information. They don't take action. So I've created a full product that will help you take action with a zero to commission roadmap. Then I explain what it is, master niche roadmap, 30-day action plan, obviously very action related, 2 group coaching calls, masterclass on how to add offers, masterclass, Loom application, and then a one-on-one implementation call with our team. Now, the fast track is the best way to do something with what you learn on the workshop. Scroll down, upgrade, then some urgency over here, and then some show up. Okay. Now, this is a very simple due diligence confirmation video over here, or upsell video, but it's the one that you need because you affirm what they've done, you congratulate them, you say, okay, you are set for the workshop, and then you explain why they should even think about upgrading. Okay. Now, the price of the low ticket offer, how you actually price it, right, is one of the most important things. And I know this because I've priced offers at the wrong prices before, and I know exactly what works right now, okay? It determines your lead quality, your average order value, the overall likelihood of these leads to convert on the backend high-ticket webinar offer, okay? Now, what we want to do is with a webinar, when we think about the overall reason why we run this webinar campaign in general, is we want to optimize for high ticket buyers, right? We don't want to optimize for a lot of cash on the front end. Sure, this is cool if we collect a lot of cash and liquidate a lot of cash with our order month. But lastly, we want to optimize for high ticket buyers. That's why pricing the offer at $27, as we did before for other clients, or even at $7, at $27 makes absolutely no sense because we will be optimizing for lower quality leads, for leads who take action on a lower quality offer, okay? But not only makes this future upsells way more difficult, you can also see that basically we will attract lower quality leads in our funnel with this campaign. So as you can see, the person who buys a $7 offer is a freebie seeker. who happen to have a few dollars in their account. And when we send the value back, because we send the value $7, $27, $97 back to Meta, Meta will understand that we want to optimize for freebie seekers. And because we're telling Meta to optimize for freebie seekers, it will optimize for freebie seekers. That's why pricing at $7 to $27 is a fatal error for a high-ticket ascension, showing you do not understand buyers psychology, okay? So we only want $97 plus only. Otherwise, leads won't be of enough quality, okay? Because rich people do not buy cheap offers. When we think about who buys a $7 offer, now obviously not the richest person. Who buys a $27 offer? Yeah, these people are a bit more affluent than $7 offer buyers, but who buys a $97 offer online? People with more buying power, and these are the exact people that we want to have in our funnel, because these people, keep in mind, I do not care too much about the overall average order value of this low ticket offers, because it won't have the highest volume. But what I care about is how many of them actually upsell on the 5K offer or even on the 12K offer. That's why I want higher lead quality at the start. I want to basically not minimize, but I want to neglect the ad spend liquidation at the front end and rather optimize for high quality. And also keep in mind that your average order value will be higher with this one. So maybe I might get less buyers from over here than from over here, but I will get higher quality buyers, and these leads will also get us more overall front end revenue. So when you optimize for $7 to sell $27, you literally tell Meta's AI to go and get you some brokies, okay? And on top of that, these leads relate a low value to your offer because they paid a lower price for that. Okay, this is also very, very, very important. This is something in the psychology. So price acts as a value signal, okay? Meaning if someone only paid $7 for, let's say this is the exact same offer, I priced it at $97 or I could price it at $7. Now, someone who buys an offer for $7 relates a lower value to this offer because he bought it for a lower price. If I buy this, I don't know, this mic, for example, for $7, what will happen is I will relate a lower quality to this mic than if I bought it for $149, right? And this is the exact same thing with your offers, right? With your webinar. So basically, the anchoring effect in a nutshell is then when you try to upsell them to a 5K offer, they already bought you $7 offer. They might be thinking, well, the $7 offer was already quite okay. Why should I even upsell to the 5K one? Otherwise, when they're already $97 in and the offer value was okay, but they still want more, they will be more likely to upsell because the jump from 97 to 5K is less and seems less than from $7 to 5K, right? Especially if they got a good offer with the $7 offer, right? They might just not think it is worth. Okay, and this is a very, 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 very important thing that you need to understand when it comes to pricing is low to go. So you could also go higher. You could also implement another low ticket offer. So basically, after they upsold and if they bought this offer, they will get sent, or even if they didn't buy, to another upsell page with another offer, and then even another one. Okay, this is something that you could do. Keep in mind, you don't want to burn your audience too much before the workshop, because you still want to make sure your show up rates are high, which is why you also want to include show up rate best practices, such as the WhatsApp group and the calendar link on the upsell page. Now, leads who do not buy can click on something like, I know I don't want to upgrade to Fast Track, and they get sent to a normal registered page. Remember, you want to select a price between $79 to $197 for the OTO, for the one-time offer, to attract the highest quality leads and open the path for upsells on the actual webinar, okay? And the technical implementation, the budget calculation is something like you want to have a lead campaign or a complete registration campaign and a purchase campaign. And the lead campaign is a campaign like basically when someone hits this page, this means he has registered, right? And then on this page, I try to upsell him. But when he hits this page, I want my pixel to fire the standard event, lead or complete registration. Then when he actually purchases and hits the purchase confirm page, I will fire the purchase event, right? And I want to optimize 30% of the budget for these purchase buys, because obviously I won't get a lot of leads from this purchase campaign, and then 70% of the budget is for leads. And this way I have a nice mix between enough volume and enough quality. Now, different standards events, again, such as lead, complete registration, or purchase, help us target a broader audience through our messaging. So when we think about this is the entire audience that I could target if my messaging is something like, if you are in the corporate 9 to 5 and you want to build a second income stream online, this now, okay? This is my entire audience that I have addressable, my TAM, my total addressable market in the US, for example, okay? Now, when I select purchase event, I will optimize for people who have purchased in the past. So people who pulled out their credit card, purchased a product, ideally a product that's priced, that was priced similar to how my low ticket offer is priced. And I will optimize for these people, okay? I won't optimize for people who have registered for the past. I won't optimize for people who've completed a registration or got a lead magnet in the past. I will only optimize for people who bought in the past based on their pattern and who are more likely to buy for the lowest priced possible, for the lowest cost per purchase possible, okay? Now, this is what happens when you optimize for purchase. When you optimize for lead, you tap into a new audience, okay? For people who are something like more like freebie seekers who want to get free stuff online. And when you optimize for complete registration, you tap into a completely new audience, okay? Which then are people who complete registrations for webinars, okay? Now, meaning you can simply, by adding the purchase event, address a bigger market. Do you see? I get leads who haven't interacted earlier with my ads. They open a bigger market for my offers by optimizing for purchase, and then obviously also for complete registration from the webinars. And when you also include lead, and this is possible, you would then basically have all the 3 markets that you want for your webinar. And that's such a big reason why we actually run this VIP offer, because we optimize the optimization meta. Because Meta then knows, okay, he wants to optimize for people who've purchased in the past, who are purchasing, who are action takers, who take action on, for example, $97 offers, because I then assign the value to the purchase event. Meaning whenever someone buys and hits this page, the purchase confirm page, let's say there's this one. Okay, he was on our upsell page, he registered, was on our upsell page, he bought, and then hit this confirm page. Then I will fire the event purchase with a $97 USD value back to Meta, and Meta knows, okay, this was a person who took action and bought a $97 offer, so we'll find more people like that. Now, whenever a lead hits, exactly, we send back the dollar value, and this will have Meta optimized for people that buy for this exact price, and ideally we even implement a server-side event integration through the Conversions API on our server host. Now, another very important thing when you think about satiation timeline is that you basically, there's ways how you can make upsells on the actual webinar way more likely. And these ways are quick wins. Think about what's the best time to upsell anyone on another offer, on a higher price offer. Well, it's actually at the time after they saw a quick win with what you're teaching. Now, when you think about a product satiation timeline, okay, there's basically a short satiation product, which has something like 3 to 7 day consumption, where they see the perceived satisfaction immediately. And there are long satiation products, which takes more than 6+ months to finish. And buyers delays his next purchase because he first wants to finish the the low ticket offer. So every product has a satiation timeline, and the time it takes for a buyer to consume the product, feel satisfied, and be ready for the next step, meaning buying the next offer, okay? But for a low ticket product, this timeline must be very short, ideally 3 to 7 days. Otherwise, you're making upsells impossible because leads fall something like, I bought the VIP ticket, I got all these guides from there. I don't want to buy the high ticket now because first I want to see a result with the VIP ticket because I paid money for it. So if you sell a 100-hour video course for $97, it will take them 6 months or so to finish it. And during those months, they won't buy your high ticket offer because they feel like they haven't finished or they've already bought. And they also probably haven't seen the win because they haven't taken action yet. This is why your front-end product should be something like a 30-page playbook, a 45-minute masterclass, something they can consume in a single day, and then go out, do it practically, and get a win on the next one. And then they ideally already got a win when we think about, okay, we want to launch a webinar or something like 5 days out, 3 days, 5 days out. And then their call, upsell call is something like 2 days after the webinar. You want to make sure that on the upsell call, they actually saw a win from the loaded product, or they at least consumed all the valuable information, know what's actually in there. That's why we've got a lot of quick guides in there and some 45-minute calls. Okay, this is exactly why we picked these deliverables. They aren't something like, yeah, random or stuff like that. They are well chosen. Okay, and this is the exact same thing that you need to do as well. The value of the offer is the most important thing. If it isn't valuable, if it isn't easy to consume, and if it actually doesn't get your audience a win, you should not sell this offer, because it will rather deter people away and scare them away from buying your high ticket offer if your low ticket offer even wasn't valuable. Now, with that being said, that's exactly how we got higher quality leads for this one webinar, which is generated as $167,000 in one single week. Now, if you would like us guys to implement stuff like VIP tickets, the pixel conditioning, the ad campaigns, okay, the complete registration campaign, obviously writing the right ads to attract leads like this are actually ready to buy, setting up the entire webinar so that your upsells for the high ticket offer become actually like you setting up the entire show up system, follow-up system, like literally every single thing related to running a profitable webinar and hitting numbers like this, then feel free to reach out to me. It's growinginfo.com to book a free strategy call, or simon.asman on Instagram. Now, if you're already a subscriber, I will welcome you back with a massive banger soon. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button now. Leave me a like, because this is everything that we're going to talk about here. Now, with that being said, guys, take care.